Hi, I'm Bradley Miller. I'm the executive producer for the Ask Professor Dan show this year. This is our culminating final for our Broadcast 203 class. Everything we've learned over this semester will be put to the test to create a show that you'll hopefully enjoy. If you do happen to enjoy it, feel free to share it with your friends and family over social media. And if you have any comments, email them to garrity@gonzaga.edu. And now, without further ado, JD, take it away.
Good evening and welcome to the Ask Professor Dan show. My name is Sara Kelly and I will be your announcer for tonight's show. In this show, you're going to see 3 campus clubs competing against each other to win the grand prize of $500, which they can win if they correctly guess which question you, the viewers, want to ask Professor Dan. With that being said, let's get to meet our contestants. We have representing the Big Bang Theory is Frances Meghan, a junior broadcasting major from Sonoma, California. From the Real Food Challenge, we have Savannah Van Sitters, a senior biology major from Edmonds, Washington. And finally, from the softball club, we have Lauren Marmo, a sophomore psychology major from Santa Barbara, California. Now, without further ado, let's meet our host, none other than the Director of Broadcast Studies here at Gonzaga, Professor Dan Garrity.
Thank you very much, Sarah, and thank you at home for joining us as well. Here's the thing about this game show. Our 3 contestants can't answer the questions themselves. They have to depend on somebody in their social network to feed them the right answers. In fact, right now, members of their clubs are watching in our live viewing party, which is taking place in the computer lab, just a couple of rooms away from us over there. They are getting ready to help with our first game. All right, let's get it going. The first game is called the Core Challenge. We went all over campus asking some of your favorite professors to come up with trivia questions concerning Gonzaga's core curriculum. We'll play the vid and then hope somebody in your network has the right answer and they can send it to you, okay? Let's get started with Core Challenge question number 1 from Dr. Richard Goodrich in history.
What was the name of the document written by the Emperor Licinius, which was sent to provincial governors in the East and allowed Christians to practice their faith freely in the Roman Empire?
A famous historic document that allowed Christians to practice. Dr. Goodrich, by the way, interesting fact about him, got his undergraduate degree in Scotland at St. Andrews. And no, his degree isn't in golf. So hopefully somebody in your networks are giving you the answers right now. When you get the right response, hold up that paddle. Couple of seconds. Lauren Marmo.
The Edict of Milan.
The Edict of Milan. Who sent you that, by the way?
My friend Sarah in the viewing room.
Sarah's a good second baseman, and she's pretty smart, too. Score 1 for the softball club. Our next question comes from Professor Lisa Silvestri in Comm Studies.
What style of speech involves reading directly from the paper?
She is relatively new to us, Lisa is, from Philadelphia. Huge Eagles fan, I'm guessing after Sunday, not a huge Seahawks fan. What kind of speech is that, where you read directly from the paper? Hopefully, in the live viewing party, we might even peek in there. They're getting you the answers. Give you a couple of more seconds here. What do they call the kind of speech where you read right from the paper? At a time. Oh, you got one? Last chance.
Reading?
Well, good. Don't even tell me who gave you that response because it's really it's a manuscript, simply a manuscript. All right, maybe we'll have better luck with Core Challenge question number 3. It's from Shruti Patel.
What is the American document that holds the first 10 amendments of the Constitution and was ratified on December 15th, 1791?
I feel good about this. I feel good. Did somebody send it in to you?
Yes, Angela says the Bill of Rights.
Angela is right. Way to go. Real Food Challenge is on the board. Our next core challenge question comes from religion studies professor Linda Shearing.
What is the genre of the first 4 books of the New Testament?
The genre of the first 4 books of the New Testament. It's from Linda Shearing. Linda Shearing has an interesting story about where she grew up. It's an island in Florida. Holy mackerel. Yes, Francis.
Gospels?
The Gospels is correct. Score another one for BBT. Ladies and gentlemen, I am so excited about our final core challenge question, right? It's an Ask Professor Dan show first. We have a question all the way from Italy. Here's Professor Henry Batterman from the Gonzaga in Florence program.
In the background, you can see Il Duomo di Firenze, Florence's famous cathedral. Which famous, world-famous Renaissance architect completed the dome on top of the cathedral?
What a gorgeous sight that is, too, in Florence, the Duomo. Dr. Batterman has an interesting story as well. When he lived in the United States and he was a lot younger, he hitchhiked all over the country. Not so sure I'd want him to do that now. BBT is all over it.
Is it Brunelleschi?
It is Brunelleschi is the man. Congratulations to the BBT. That's all the questions we had in the core challenge. Sarah, how about a score update?
So after the first round, our score update is BBT with 20 points. We have the Real Food Challenge with 10 points and the Softball Club with 10 points as well. Now, we're going to toss it over the Tweet Suite with Jordan and Harry for them to tell us a little bit about our sponsors for tonight's show. How's it going over there, guys?
It's going great over here, Sarah. Thank you so much.
We have a few people that we would like to thank tonight.
Starting with Burnett Sportswear for supplying us with these amazing shirts.
I think we look pretty great, Jordan.
I would agree.
Second, we want to give a huge shout out to our caterer tonight, Caruso's, for donating food, keeping our contestants and us very well fed.
And finally, we would like to thank Runners Soul and Kurt Kinghorn, their owner, for donating the $500 grand prize. Kurt Kinghorn actually was a D1 athlete himself. He actually played baseball, but now he actually believes that running is the best sport there is.
Well, in my estimation, it's really basically the only true sport there is. There's no start line, there's no finish line. You know, there's something just clean and pure about it. There's no politics, there's nothing. It's just hard work and determination and something that you have total control of. I think the first thing that I look for in an employee is someone who is outgoing, has a good personality. I always look for people who are familiar with the sport. That's why I have so many Gonzaga kids. I have Eastern Washington kids. I've got a Whitworth kid. I've got people from community colleges of Spokane. But everyone is in the running community. Everybody has experienced the sport, has experienced the ups and downs, knows the problems that can come, and can help people to solve those. The reason I chose to sponsor this particular show, this endeavor, I get requests often from a lot of different people. This particular one, I could see the benefits both for me and for the students, and I think it's an incentive for students to learn, to enjoy, and to create a lifetime experience. You know, can you imagine these guys with their grandchildren on their knees? You know, I remember when we had a game show at Gonzaga and our team won $500. That's something that you can carry on for life and nobody can take it away from you. But I think the most important thing that I'd like to tell people is right now you're in a good situation, in a good institution to learn a lot of things. Get out, enjoy, participate, and have fun. You only get to be this age once in your life.
Welcome back to the Ask Professor Dan show. After the first round, here's a quick score update. We had BBT with 20 points, the Real Food Challenge with 10 points, and the Softball Club with 10 points as well. So, we've gotten to know who our contestants are, but let's get to know them on a personal level. Dan?
Let's do that, Sarah. It has been such a pleasure for us to learn a little bit more about these ladies. Let's start over there. Frances Minnigan, Sonoma, California, and you are a member of BBT. What got you into BBT?
I came and saw BBT for Gel Weekend my senior year of high school, and I absolutely loved them, and I just knew I was going to audition.
Yeah.
So,
was that nerve-wracking trying out for that club?
Absolutely, yes. Super nerve-wracking.
What are the tryouts like?
You have to sing a solo piece. Which
You don't have to crawl on glass and hold the microphone upside
no,
down?
you do,
or no?
Yeah, so you have to sing a solo. You have to do some sight reading, like rhythmic and melodic stuff, and then you kind of just chat with the directors.
Excellent. Anybody want to say hello to? Anybody watching the show?
All my people, go BBT.
Well, you have pretty much everybody from BBT over there in the
here.
live viewing party. So let's hop over there and talk to Chrissy and Max and see if we can help BBT earn some points. All right, guys?
Thank you, Dan. We are here in the Gonzaga Journalism and Broadcasting Building with the live viewing party. We are joined by the social networks of our contestants' clubs, and we are so fortunate to have been given some awesome food by Caruso's to snack on.
The game we're going to be playing tonight is GU Fast Facts. So we're going to be asking each contestant 2 questions. The first about basketball and the second about anything generally GU. If they get the question right, they get 10 points. Up first is Ben from BBT. Hi Ben, how's it going?
Great, how are you?
I'm awesome. Okay, so what's going on in BBT these days?
A lot of great stuff. It's a really great place where we can get together and have music and camaraderie. We're getting ready for our coffee house tomorrow night, so that's going to be exciting. We're doing a lot of Christmas songs as well as just some other general music, but we're just getting together and singing.
Awesome. And if you were fortunate enough to win the $500, what would you guys do with it?
$500 would be great. We want to possibly make a music video, maybe a CD, some stickers, or maybe another show. So.
Awesome. Well, let's get to it. Why don't you go ahead and grab your first question?
All right.
Max can read it.
All right. Your question is, who founded Gonzaga University? Joseph Cataldo. Joseph Cataldo is correct. 10 points for BBT. All right, and now on to your next question. All right, ready, guys?
All right. The tallest basketball player in Gonzaga history was 7'5" and played from 2007 to 2010. What was his name?
I am going to say that it was Kellen what? Kelly Olynyk. Oh, Kelly Olynyk. He plays for the Celtics. Kelly Olynyk is not correct. The correct answer is Will Foster. But you'll have another chance to earn some more points later on in the show. Ben, thank you for joining us. Back to you in the studio, Dan.
All right, let's go ahead and go into the middle now. Hello, Savannah Van Sitters from Edmonds, Washington.
Yes.
And you're a senior and majoring in
Biology and environmental studies.
So what's going to happen in May, Savannah?
Who knows? Maybe graduate school, but for right now, it's a mystery to everyone, including myself.
Could it be professional soccer? You're a D1 athlete. You're on the women's soccer team.
I am on the women's soccer team. Probably not, but I would like to still incorporate soccer in my life for, I guess the rest of my life.
You probably will always have that as part of your life. Your claim to fame, you're one of the only women on the team who swings from the left. You're a lefty.
Yes, that is correct. I am the only left-footed person on our team.
So not being athletic in any way, shape, or form, if you're right-handed, you're right-legged as well? And if you're left-handed, you're left-legged?
Not necessarily. I definitely know a couple people on my team who are left-handed and right-footed. So.
Interesting.
But I happen to be left-handed and left-footed, so it just all depends.
Well, you see that scoreboard up there. There's a little bit of room for the Real Food Challenge to score some. Let's see if we can go back in there. Max and Chrissy, can you help Real Food Challenge earn some points?
Thank you, Dan. We are here with Angela from the Real Food Challenge. How's it going, Angela?
Pretty good.
So, what's going on in your club these days?
We are working on a food documentary for our club to help highlight the food culture here at Gonzaga.
Awesome. And so, if you were to win the $500, what would your club do with it?
It would definitely go to help our documentary and also for different conferences. We went to present in San Antonio in October, so we'd like to keep doing that.
Awesome. That sounds so interesting. Well, you're up on questions, so you can go ahead and pick your first one.
All right, your first question is, what number is retired in honor of former Gonzaga basketball star John Stockton?
Ooh.
Oh, we're going to go ahead and call it there. No points, unfortunately, this round. The correct answer was 12, but you do have another chance to get some more points. Go ahead and draw a question.
A little redemption.
All right, your question is, when was Gonzaga founded?
1887?
1887 is correct. 10 more points for the Real Food Challenge. Things are really heating up here in this game, so we're going to go ahead and toss it back to you in the studio, Dan.
Thank you very much, Max. Now time to get to know Lauren Marmo a little bit more from one of my favorite places on the planet, Santa Barbara, California.
Yep.
And so are you sitting on the beach one day in Goleta saying, you know what, I need 20 and snowy. I got to get out of here. I got to move to Spokane.
You know, I think I really just wanted like a new scenery. Like there's basically no seasons in Santa Barbara.
There's one season and it's wonderful.
Yes, that's true. But I wanted a little variation, you know.
Yeah. What's your gift on the softball field?
I am one of the fastest on the field. So I play center field and second base. So that's usually where the fastest person is.
Right.
Yeah.
And if I asked you to, your fun fact is your double jointed hips and you can do these crazy splits. If we move the laptops, would you be ready to do that right now?
Oh, right here?
No, I'm not going to have them do that.
Okay.
It sounds way too painful. All right, once again, let's send it over to the live viewing party and find out if Club Softball can help get some more points.
We're here with Meghan in the live viewing party from Women's Club Softball. So Meghan, I know that the club is new, so tell us a little bit about it.
Basically, we're just a bunch of girls who just love playing softball, and because Gonzaga didn't have a team, we're just like, we'll just start one. And so, yeah, just kind of getting the club started at this point.
Awesome. I'm glad to see it coming off the ground. And if you were to win the $500, what would you do with it?
Probably buy a lot of softballs.
Makes sense. I know how much they cost. So, yeah, that makes sense. So why don't you go ahead and grab your first question?
I'm nervous.
Okay. All right, thank you. The first question is, last year, who did Gonzaga beat to make it to the Final Four?
Northwestern, right?
Northwestern's not correct. The correct answer is Xavier.
Oh, yeah.
However, you do have one more question to go for. So
I was so confident. No.
All right. Gonzaga has 6 schools and 1 college. What is the name of the college?
College of Art and Sciences.
That's correct.
10 more points for Women's Club Softball. So everybody's on the board here now. We're going to toss it back to Sarah for a quick update in the studio. Sarah?
Thanks, guys. After 2 rounds, our score is BBT with 30. We got the Real Food Challenge with 20. And the Softball Club with 20. So before we go to break, let's go check out the Tweet Suite with Jordan and Harry for them to tell us a little bit more about how you guys can vote for your favorite question. What's going on in there, guys?
Thanks, Sarah. We are feeling great in Opila today, and if you want a chance to be a little more involved in our show, you can actually vote for the question that we choose to be our final question. You can follow this link, bit.ly/APDGUTV to vote. The link is also on our Facebook and Twitter.
We know that you already have Facebook open, so go on and get in there and vote.
Might as well.
Each contestant will be picking one question to wager some or all of their points on. The first question is, what characteristic is most important to develop in college?
The second question is, what is a day in the life of a Jesuit?
And third, what does it mean to be a Zag? Coming up next, our very own Dean Saranac sits down with Gonzaga's assistant coach for men's soccer, Vito Higgins, to discuss his life and soccer career.
You won't want to miss that interview.
Coming up next on the Ask Professor Dan show on GUTV.
At GUTV, producing a television show is a lot like coaching a basketball game. Like, for instance, we also have a guy with a man bun we put in when things are looking good for us.
And just like that, Gonzaga is headed back to another Sweet 16.
This is a really good show. How much time we got left?
30.
30. We're going to send in 55.
I'm Scott Weller. Thank you for watching GUTV.
Let's go! Clear!
Welcome back to the Ask Professor Dan show. After 2 rounds, our score is BBT with 30, the Real Food Challenge with 20, and the Softball Club with 20 as well. Now, let's go meet our special guest with our interviewer, Dean Saranac.
Thanks, Sarah. If you love soccer and know tons about the LA Galaxy, then you're watching the show right now. Joining us today is none other than former LA Galaxy player and current Gonzaga coach, Mr. Vito Higgins. Vito, how are you?
Doing well. Thanks for having me.
Of course. Thank you for coming. So, before we get into the questions submitted by our wonderful contestants, you and your wonderful wife, Katie, have a bit of news. What's coming in February next year?
Little girl, Camilla James Higgins.
Well, first of all, congratulations.
Thank you.
That's very exciting. Your first child.
Yes.
Correct? So the name Camilla it's unique. I've never heard the name before. Did you find it in a book, or did it come off the top of your heads, or how did you come up with the name?
More off the top of the head. You know, you just kind of talk about things, and we were pretty laid back and kind of clicked, and we rolled with it, and we've toyed with the spelling a little bit, but yeah, it's settled in nicely, and let's just hope she likes it.
Great. Well, that's always the big question. And the middle name James, the inspiration for that is?
My wife's father, who passed away 2 years ago, so that's his name. Funny enough, I didn't even think of it. It's also one of my middle names as well. So,
oh, really?
Yeah.
That's a good little connection.
Yes, it
is.
2
families together. So what we're going to do is we have 3 sets of questions with 3 questions each, which were submitted to us by the contestants. And so you're going to pick 1 question for each set, and that's the question you're going to answer, and then the contestant that submitted the question gets 20 points.
All right.
All right. Let's see the questions then for the first set. Question number 1 is, how influential were your parents in choosing your career? Were they supportive or pushing for soccer? Question 2 is, did you get island fever? If so, at what age did you know you wanted to leave? And question number 3 is, did you ever contemplate becoming a professional surfer? Obviously, you're from Hawaii. These questions are very Hawaii orientated, so take your pick.
Number 3.
Number 3, professional surfer. That question comes to us from Real Food Challenge. They get the points. So, did you?
Well, I did at one point. I was taking a short break due to injury with soccer, and I thought maybe surfing was going to be a better route. I quickly realized when I surfed that there were 6-year-olds that were better than I, and I'm going to stick to soccer. So,
right, quick. That makes sense. When did you realize that soccer would be such a big part in your life and something that you would want to orientate your whole career towards?
It happened fairly young. My grandparents, my grandfather specifically, used to take me out and fill 2 water jugs, and that was the goal. He'd set him out there and shoot on me, or I'd shoot on him. My uncle played at University of San Diego. He coached me. He coached high school in Hawaii and all that, and so that kind of steered me, and I just knew at a young age that that's probably what I'm going to do for the rest of my life.
And that's what you've been doing for thus far. So
luckily.
Yeah, luckily. So we're going to do the next set of questions, starting with question number 1. What was your most memorable experience playing soccer here at Gonzaga? Question number 2, what's the strangest thing that has happened to you on the field? And question number 3, did you have any passions other than soccer that you wished you could have pursued?
Number 1.
Question number 1, most memorable experience. And that comes to us again from Real Food Challenge. Excellent questioning. She should have my job. Vito, what was your most memorable experience playing soccer?
Playing in the University of Washington here, my senior year. And we won, but the most memorable experience was their captain, George John, came in on a cross and we collided, and he had to leave the game due to concussion or something like that.
Wow.
Not that I wanted that to happen, but it was a footprint for Gonzaga men's soccer because they're cross-state rivals, so it was nice to just make that statement that they're not going to come here and do anything.
That's powerful. That's a powerful statement to make. And you also did play for the LA Galaxy, correct? Do you have any specific memory that kind of sticks out to you when playing for the Galaxy?
A few of them, but probably the most memorable is that I made a save. I swear the ball did not cross the line and go in the goal. And David Beckham yelled at me with probably not the nicest language that I was a liar and a cheat, and that it had crossed the line. And I said, "No, sir, it did not."
Respectful and honest. That's what I like about you, Vito. And we actually have a jersey from your playing days, correct, from the LA Galaxy?
Yep.
Look at that. Vito Higgins, number 30. You need a frame for this, my friend. So, we have the last set of questions. Question number 1 is, what drives you to do what you do today? Question number 2 is, what is your coaching motto? And question number 3 is, who inspired you to become a coach?
Number 1.
Number 1, what drives you to do what you do today? And that comes to us from club softball, women's softball. So Vito, what drives you?
All you guys. No, being a part of Gonzaga is a pretty special and unique environment, and so every time I get to come back here or wake up in the morning or drive into campus, I get to realize that I'm working with the best people in the world, and being able to influence through my experiences and through my passions to, students and student athletes is kind of what drives me the most, and I just really want to be a Zag for the rest of my life.
Well, we hope you are, and we're so thankful to have you at Gonzaga, and we're so thankful to have you on the show. I wish I could talk with you here for hours and hours on end, but sadly, that's all the time we have. Vito, thank you again for coming in.
Thanks for having me.
We're going to toss it real quick to Sarah for a score update. Sarah?
Thanks, Dean. So after 3 rounds, our score is BBT with 30, the Real Food Challenge with 60, and the Softball Club with 40. But now the time has come for our contestants to lock in their bets on what question you want to ask Professor Dan. Stick around because you don't want to miss our great finale here on the Ask Professor Dan show on GUTV. Welcome back. Sadly, our show is coming to an end and our teams have placed their bets. Let's take a look. We have BBT going all in, voting on what it means to be a Zag. And we have the Real Food Challenge going all in on what a day in the life of the Jesuit. We have the softball club going all in on what it means to be a Zag as well. I have the winning question in this envelope, and I'm going to hand it over to Dan.
I am ready. Let's see what we got here. The winning question. And by the way, a little correction over here. BBT, you bet on a day in the life of a Jesuit, and Real Food, you bet on what does it mean to be a Zag. Okay. The actual question that won. What does it take to be a Zag? That means the Real Food Challenge is our winner tonight. Congratulations, $500. Holy mackerel. Way to go. So let's go ahead and answer that. What does it take to be a Zag? Well, I'm going to tell you what it takes to be a Zag. Just one thing. Open a door. That's all you have to do to be a Zag. Just open a door. Because when we open a door, it says many, many things about us. What does it mean? What are we saying? Well, I think we're saying, I recognize your humanity. I want to do what I can to make your day just a little bit easier. Sometimes when you open a door, you're saying, please hurry, because I panicked and started to open the door while you were still 5 awkward paces away. But above all, I think we're saying we're happy and proud to go to this school when we open doors for each other, and we're even happier when we get to share the place we love with others. But that's just my answer. If you'd like another perspective on what it means to be a Zag, join us Thursday at 5 as GUTV presents The Answer Show, a half-an-hour program devoted to answering the question you picked tonight. Head to watchgutv.com, and we hope to see you on Thursday. Congratulations once again to the Real Food Challenge for winning. Thanks to Runner's Soul for sponsoring the grand prize. Thanks to Caruso's for all the wonderful food, Brunettes for the sportswear, and also to our guest Vito Higgins for spending time with us. And most of all, thank you for watching. Hope to see you Thursday. Good night, and God bless you.